Hey there, Taurus. This is Joy with Joy of the World, here to take a look at what is going on. And I'm telling you, some of it's stringing along with that bit of Aries energy coming on in this year. It's like, well, it's like the landing strip. You know, plasma is landing in Aquarius, and then it's just tapering down through Pisces, and it's tapering off. It's going to taper off for quite a bit, but there'll still be some nice activity going on, especially while you're moving into the nodes, the head of the nodes, Taurus, which were the whole zodiac. But you've been sharing this theme card called Fruition with Aries, and they said as the node makes the next turn, then I'll be able to switch you out so that you can stand in your own identity. Taurus has been lodged into a certain state for quite a while, almost kind of like a stagnation going on. Some loss, some regret, some of those type of things. And whether you felt that way or not, it's the fact that was kind of like chemically what was going on in your environment around you. And this is the environment they're wanting to move into now, this co-creation, this unique life being brought forth from two seemingly different but cooperative energies. It's swift and silent is what we're doing. And so that's what plasma actually does. It's like it listens to the frequency or vibration coming off of us. It's not just measuring the words that come out of our mouth, which can be very Scorpio, very much the ability to think before we speak, okay? And Virgo. But that's sweeping on out because Taurus will be the head. So it's being able to release some of that and to operate from your heart. It's like telepathy, the way you think of telepathy being from the mind to things. It is that way from the mind to the energy beyond, the plasma, the fourth state of matter. Okay, so strangely enough, they want me to leave the moon card. So they said because it is tailing in from Aries. If you didn't watch it, you could watch it already. And then come back to this, or let's just move on through and we'll knit it together, whatever they're wanting to say here. And they're like, turn the camera on, just leave the chaos here and let's walk it through with them. Because I'm like, what is going on? What do you want me to do? What can I clean up? And they're like putting all of these, I closed the decks up, started to shuffle, and the same things came out again. So they're wanting to, well, I know you want to focus on that, but they're talking about what do you want to release, and it says balance, spirituality, and practicality. So you would think, okay, release and balance, how do we do that? Well, it's kind of like putting your arms out, you know, when you're walking on something, getting that bit of a balance here, release the control, that the things being locked into a certain rote of happening in a certain pattern, path, or way. Because there has been a bit of a rut going on in Taurus. And now the move on is going to pick up this Mars energy and the solar energy that's really turning the tide, and in this winter time and kicking up heat is going to stimulate the grounds of Taurus, like into more of this King of Discs type energy that's going on over here. So it's balancing spirituality and practicality, as getting the union of the fire is what they're talking about. The union of the fire of trusting yourself, of divinity, of fresh innocence and newness of life coming in. And innocence does not mean ignorance, but they're talking about like the little hub that holds a propeller or a clock, that center part, letting it be attached, but freed enough, freeable, that the hands can move around easily of the node, okay? And that's why we're talking about this Taurus, is that's what's coming in there. And they're talking the balance of the node. A lot of it can be Wheel of Fortune. It's all in how you play it as to stepping into the world and this victory. This victory is a mindset. It's a matter of the heart, not a mind here, like just taking control of your thoughts. They're like, you're a little too late by then. How about you take control of your feelings? And that doesn't mean dominate yourself. Look at this. That's a fruitful. This is abundance. It's the root. It's like it's talking about that peg that holds together the clock or the propeller. It is firmly rooted and attached, but there's enough room. There's this measure to allow things to begin to move and create. They're talking about Taurus is going to go from like this laden ox, you know, days being crammed full, everything being full without fulfilling. Okay, that's what happened. The fulfillment ran away. But it's going to be leaving that little bit of that measure of room for life to be spontaneous, surprising, loving, co-creative with you, to interject in some fun, some sprightliness is what they're saying, because it's going to begin to skip around like a calf. And the calves do that because they've never been out on the grass. All right. Or the cows, because they've been kept in for a period of months for the winter time, and then they're let out. And in certain countries, they actually show up to see the releasing of the calves, to just see them frolic and watch this response, this innate, inherent, visceral, very physical response begin to happen. Taurus, ooh, I gotcha. Don't be fooled, friend. I'm here to tell you, first and foremost, this stagnancy, this not being able to get things rolling, that type of thing. And why months ago they told you to quit burning bridges, it's like you were tearing yourself up. You're like the tree of life, and that's what's happening, is your roots have been driving down so thick, so broad, and so deep. The King of Discs is showing up as your roots. Okay, but you're going to be able to frolic and skip about, because that's energetically, it's talking about your fruits. Fruits travel far and wide. That's how they're scattered about, is by birds or creatures or whatever else, enjoying it and moving it out to where the seeds can begin to spread out from a region. Okay, like a radius, like the clock. And just like it's happening through your sign. Letting it spread out, smoothing the frosting over the whole top of the cake. And they're talking about, like, yeah, like, bright idea. Great idea. I will celebrate my small wins. This is your affirmation card. So if you'd like to say it with me, Taurus, you can. What does it say? I will celebrate my small wins. Now, we are the whole zodiac, so this is for any of us choosing to put ourselves in that mindset. That is like that spark and that fire that dismisses the conundrum. The conundrum of how do we rectify earth and water without getting stodgy, sodden, sedentary, that type of thing. Because this creativity, remember, it's swift and silent, but they're also telling me it's strong because of this mighty fortress that you're on here, this viewpoint that you have, this elevation and leverage is coming out from the cool confidence that has been there. Like, don't underestimate the power of your knowingness. Okay, your confidence of who you are and what you're here for, that spirituality and practicality. Nothing against the woo-woo, y'all, but if I'm hungry, I want the food in my mouth, not the idea of it, okay? So I'm talking about woo, bringing in that plasma, bringing in that victory. That's very much what this moon card is here, because see, normally you have the wolf and the dog, and they're not in agreement, but here they are on the same page. So that, okay, that moon is showing up. Now we're placing, thank you. Here's our movement, Taurus. Are you getting excited? Because here we're moving out from where it's been attached to the Aries, which has been incredibly impactful for you, especially if you're a sun sign, okay? And they're talking about your star sign as well. Is because it's touching right up against Aries, and Aries is where Chiron is moving through, all right, in that long extended period of getting to know thyself, the journey of self-discovery. Sorry, that's creepy, y'all. It's my little port of self-discovery, of self-expression, very much so. That's why they're wanting you to be adherent to the plasma of like committing to the follow-through, to not burning the bridge, to staying in the mindset. Look at this both. Look. The mindset, fully connected, fully confident, fully knowing. I celebrate my small wins. That's what they're talking about. Double your power to it, y'all. Okay, and King, what do you want to talk about with this pentacle that's sitting over here? Committing to your wins. Okay, they moved into a phonetic game. Now that's what King of Discs is talking about here, because the magic of Estabus, the angel of divination, is here to work along with the moon, to walk on the surface of the moon, because the moon is the card that came back out. These other cards, the victory, again, they're like, we have to tell them about it. Because how do you know? Ignorance is simply not knowing. And like, how can you go if you don't know? Or how can this awakening you, or signs and resonance, begin to show up in your world through yourself and your divinity, okay? Because what I say is of nothing here. It's what you hear and how it resonates with your spirit to walk it out, because I believe we're each divine. I'm just here to give a little traffic report, to give a little cosmic energy report. That's it. But you're the one who owns the car, drives the car, and knows whichever way you're planning to go. And that's what they're talking about, that road. This road up about what to release. And I would say release the grip a little bit. Not the let go. Release the grip. Give it a little room. They're saying, watch and see. Give it a couple of weeks. Allow it to start to go, to show, to change, because it's transforming out of a long period of healing, a long period of darkness, of stuckness, of sadness they're particularly talking about. And some of you may have felt like there was an angel of wrath sitting upon your head, like you were being pecked while you're half dead. And you're like, do I want to just phase on out and come back for another life? Or am I going to see what this is all about? Well, you chose to stay. You applied your creative power, hoping and believing that your investment, that this discomfort or whatever was going on would somehow connect. That's the oven timing, y'all. Would somehow connect with your spirit, catch on, and be manifest in this world. Well, let me tell you, with the King of Disc here, yes. Yes. And it can even begin, summertime can begin even here in the winter. So irregardless, that means whatever hemisphere you're actually in, but it can also mean that there's always abundance. There's always abundance, like camellias, snowdrops, crocus bloom right through the snow. They bloom in the winter and they're happy about it too. They're happy about it. That's the thing. There is no sacrifice here. They're saying, watch, wait and see. The things that used to harass you and interrupt your healing and interfere with your transmission, they're now going to become helpers. Okay. And that's why they were talking about abstaining from this judgment, because the judgment card, the justice card, and the 7 of Swords has been showing up in all of the decks in the pre-shuffle, spitting themselves out. And they're like, they need to know right now there is the temptation. There is the temptation to throw it all away, to begin to try and organize the chaos. And they're like, from our point of view, there is no chaos. Everything is perfect, beautiful, divine order. There was a moment of don't touch, don't anything. It's kind of like when you're getting ready to land in an airplane, or if you're moving in a car, the seatbelt is to be in place. Locked and ready. Locked and ready, because we're making our descent, we're making our land, and we're getting ready to be in this new land that we've transferred ourselves to. Okay, Estabas wants to talk now. This new land, this new Taurian energy. So let's get something to go along with that co-create. Some supportive power about this landing when the node lands. So right now, the node's been transitioning out of the head of Gemini and moving towards Taurus since like around the 19th or so of December. I know there were so many other cosmic things going on that you might not have noticed. Okay, talking orphaned, left out. Number 5, which is very Taurian, Hierophant. So you're wanting to talk about your disappointment in the systems. Okay, so Aries went into a relationship talk this as well. And relationship can be with another person, a job, a business, or whatever, or even to yourself. But it means that two-way street, that getting in the unison about, you can't sit here and be all dried up on yourself and expect the world to treat you lusciously. Okay, and with that big receptivity. And they're also talking about if you don't give yourself credit, and I don't mean out your mouth. They're talking about up in your head. Now they're talking about the fruit on the inside of your head. This juiciness, this mindset where it all births forward from. That there was some disillusionment, some disenfranchisement going on there. There's a rock. Y'all want to look at this rock for a moment. It's like liberty, orphaned. Some too much, some too little. It's the Hierophant energy coming on in. 5 of wind, fear. Okay, well, that's the 5. That's the 5. Wanting to know is that, will the investment be worth it? Is the sacrifice worth it? That's why the healing and not wanting to walk away, thinking if you move away from it, then how will you inherit it? But it was talking about the goods coming in on your investment. That's what the King of Disc was talking about. I was going, your roots are going to go with you wherever you go. Because the thing is, it's wherever you go, there you are. Your world. They talk about expanded joy, see it bigger than a car. They need to see it as like your whole plot of land. I don't know if you've ever seen the movie Up, but it's like everywhere you go, there you are. All of it. The Matrix, they're wanting to talk a matrix and a grid. Y'all hadn't seen the movie, so I just don't know. We're talking about your authority and power. So there's been like some corruption, very specific, some corrupting of the home, corrupting of your mind, self-imposed or otherwise. That's the indifference about the Seven of Swords that's been showing up in the judgment and the justice. They're like, sure, heaven will care if you care. So what they're talking about is being able to release that off, to release that out, the old mindsets, the old judgments, the old relating to what you have been through and where you come from. Because the thing is, we don't really come from where we're staking our claim. All right. That's been your GPS home point. And they're wanting you to make yourself your GPS home point. I mean, that's this hovering around wherever you go. And a lot of the figures in this deck are in the black with white outlines, you know, like a shadow figurement type of thing going on. So it's not specifically that. That's not the healing. But it's like staying in the one space, wanting to receive, right? But they're saying it's so much bigger than that. It's your whole world. It's wherever you go. Heaven has got its eye on you. Heaven is here with you. Okay, they're resonating. Look, y'all. They're wanting you to know you are resonating. Can you see the shaping going around? Okay, your Merkaba, your vestment, your investment. Getting to yourself. Okay, so going in through the 8th ray. There's all these mysteries, y'all, that they're talking about. The 8th ray, they're talking about the realm of dreams, the imagination. Getting heaven here on earth to where you get to experience it. Like I said, when you're hungry, to have the food in your mouth, not just the idea of the taste. And they're talking about you being the dream weaver. But dreams move through the sky and the air, so the space around your head. Okay, that's what they want you to know. This is a processing. This is like a computer, okay? And a computer has whatever information is input. So they're saying is whatever you allow in is what comes in. So take heed as to what thoughts you are accepting at this time, because old things like what was scouring around Dorothy and the tornado are there to suggest their influence, but those can be released. Those can be released and you can let the nutrition come in, the good seeds abide and remain, the helpful things, the kind things, the stuff like that, that sort of refinement. Remember the treating yourself the way you want others to treat you, the way you want the world to see you and respond. And they're talking about more than just the mouth and the mind. They're talking about feeling wise, viscerally, like in your earth, in your roots. Okay. By the book. By the book. They're talking about, do you believe? Do you fully believe your story? And they're saying you don't, like, because the light is beginning to shine in. And there was always something in you, magnificent, mighty, and strong. You know, this King of Discs here, this victorious energy, this world energy, this otherworldly type energy. They're saying that it's nothing shameful. You don't have to dangle the carrot in your face. You can go straight for the gold, shoot straight for the moon, go after it and chase your world. Because the thing that you're pursuing and the energy that you're moving in is delight. And they're wanting to move you at the speed of that right now. So that's what they're talking about by the book, by your story. Believe in yourself. Invest in yourself. Okay, time is now. So we're talking about with this moon that it's landing on end. And they're going, do not be afraid or dismayed, because you see it's coming up against the house. But they're saying you are so much more than just this house. All right. The way to take care of it is to get into your moon, to get into your body, to get into your whole, the atmosphere. Okay. Because there's this layer that holds the air that we're capable of breathing, right? And then beyond that is outer space. So they're talking about everything that will occur is within your atmosphere, not just your environment. Okay. So we've got Jupiter and Pisces coming in. And they're talking about the Oakman, the YY gene coming back in, being restored, the voice being heard. There's been a lot of censorship of any and everywhere. It might have started off with good reason and good direction, but it bled over into so many different things that now it's like tripwires. You know, those laser wire, those laser lights, those trip lights that they have in, you know, big high-end museums and jewelry stores and things like that. They're talking about we're going to exit through. We're going to keep on moving. We're going to move into this cosmic world, this cosmic energy that loves and embraces, very personal. That's why Aries is kicking it off. We're far enough into Aries now that it is getting traction, it is getting root, and it is beginning to bear fruit, to realize that there is nothing wrong with you. The nodes mess with more than enough and not enough, when really in that center, knowing that you're plenty. That's what the anchor, the root, the establishment is based upon. So I'm saying bless you there, Taurus. God bless you there. Is the establishment is your card, the Hierophant. Ooh, yeah. Ooh, that's the fifth ray. So let's see. Okay. Your new identity. Youthful, vibrant, initiative, excitement. That's the part of Aries that's coming on over into you, warming your soil. The candle loves that, because that's what awakens the seed. Awakens the seed of your dreams. You'll be bearing fruit in no time. This is exciting. I'm happy for you, Taurus. Again, we're all Taurus, but this is the Venus, your beauty being restored. The sacrifice that was made. Anything that was sacrificial that made you heavy, hurt, and broke your heart, they're saying turn your mind's eye to see it as an investment. Because sacrifice is dead. There's an ending. Clear cut. Like, you see all these sheer edges going on here with them? No matter how high or how small of a sacrifice that it was, they're talking about that's not the inheritance. And the inheritance is like this Two of Wands. Now, the ellipses going around, the world going around, the spirals, the revelation, the unveiling of the truth. So at that point, if you'll see it as an investment, it will carry beyond and it will move into the life, and life will be restored. Clarity. It'll clear the balance of your Neptune, your imagination. Like the Etch-a-Sketch when you shake it and it clears off. All right, well, we've talked enough for now. If you're still here and you liked it, click that subscribe button down below. Also, you can click that like button, tickle it, punch it like the Pillsbury Doughboy. Make it happen. Anyways, stop by and see me. Check it out. Whole Zodiac. Also, they're all timeless reads, irregardless of what it says. We're going to keep bringing this on in. And next time, you're going to have a new card, a new theme, a new flavor. Don't just hang in there. And don't just hang on. Root yourself in. Okay? Cheer yourself on. Start co-creating and celebrating. Okay, I love you. Bye.